why don't we just jump right to it and talk a little bit about Gemini, because this has kind of been a big time for Google. I feel like to a certain degree, like this is the thing that came up for me on this. Gemini doing great. It surpassed OpenAI on the app charts and the iOS App Store, anyways. So it's moved past OpenAI. It's now dominating. That's a pretty big deal because OpenAI has been large and in charge for many, many months. I don't know. Is this the first time that they've passed? I didn't look that up.
I think so.
Certainly a very, very long time that OpenAI has been up there. And part of the reason seems to be, I mean, I'm sure it's just Gemini in general has been getting a lot of updates. It's really, it's really moving along. But this whole Nano Banana thing, which I don't know, have you played around with Nano Banana?
I haven't yet. I'm derelict there, but I'm glad you have.
I've definitely taken a look, and we can certainly take a look on a deeper level to this here in a second. But yeah, so this is a big deal. Demis Hassabis took to X to of course brag a little bit about it, and that's great. But I have, let's see here. I'm trying to. My window layout is not appealing to me right now. I'm missing things.
So it's important, I think, that while you're doing that, that this is also the last week when Google hit the 3 trillion mark in market cap, and I think that accomplishments like this are part of that. People said, "Oh, Google's behind. OpenAI's way ahead. They got to catch up with OpenAI," and I think they're getting real AI respect now, and I think that the market cap is reflecting that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, $3 trillion, kind of joining a very exclusive club there. It's not like Nano Banana is like the reason, but it's this along with a lot of other things, along with, avoiding a very catastrophic outcome of things like, from the antitrust ruling recently, not having to divest Chrome and Android. That certainly gives, investors a lot of optimism about kind of Google's future and keeping the ship rolling and together. And I look at this and I'm like, for so long, it's been easy to criticize Google because they were so early on a lot of this consumer-facing AI stuff, and yet they were surpassed by the upstarts. This brand new company that suddenly comes into consciousness, OpenAI, and it's like, well, wait a minute, Google, you should have been the leader. Why weren't you? And now it's kind of like a few years into it, they're getting their comeuppance to a certain degree, or they're getting their revenge. Maybe that's the better.
I think that's probably a better way to put it. Yeah, I think they're proving what they're doing. Yep.
Yeah, indeed. So that's a big deal. Nano Banana, is bringing a lot of new usage, and part of what's driving this is the virality of the model here. I think in the people that I've talked to, primarily Android faithful folks, we were talking about it last night before the show and during the show, is that the image generation that Nano Banana is capable of is really accurate to a certain degree. It's not 100% perfect. If you feed it an image of yourself and you say, generate this thing, it's not going to get your likeness perfect 100% of the time, but it nails it a lot more consistently than most image models that I've used to date. It really does get a lot of the details pretty darn right and consistent.
And I think this is more than a parlor trick, but it is that. Mm-hmm. It's also, I've been reading a lot of stuff in the papers, and we'll get to that later, about world models. And the synthetic data for world models is images of reality made artificially by the machine. So when it's making a close representation of reality that impresses us, I would imagine it's also being used to train the machines as a world model.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have to imagine so. And even as I've been playing with Nano Banana in this particular meme, which is one of the big things that people have been passing around, is this. It's like a viral prompt. And I guess there's probably been viral prompts before, but there's a specific prompt that is going wild on Nano Banana right now among users, where when you put it in, it creates an image similar to what you see on The Verge here of the photo that you give it. And it has like a monitor in the background that has a CAD version of this character, this like action figure sort of thing, and then it has a very realistic looking rendering of the action figure on a table, and then also a smaller version of it in a box as if it were something you could buy at the toy store or something like that.
I wonder whether that could create enough detail that you could feed that to a 3D printer.
I think I've seen a lot of people wondering that too. Like this, we're starting to kind of get to a point, and maybe we've already been there and we're only just now noticing it, but it's pretty detailed, and I'm sure there's some way to do that. I went ahead and did this for us.
Oh,
Jeff. And this is taken from a photo that you and I took on your book tour when we were in San Francisco.
Right.
And it can be found. The photo can actually be found on the AI Inside site at aiinside.show. And here we are, a little action figure version. We got the little box that it comes in.
That's very cool.
And then I don't know why it decided that I deserve to be full color in the CAD rendering and you were black and white.
Because I'm just kind of that pale. I'm very white and I wear black, so that's all it has.
That's all it's got. I don't know. It's not perfect. That sort of looks like me. That sort of looks like you. But,
a little cockeyed, but yeah.
But it's a toy. Like since when do the toys represent reality 100%?
That's pretty cool. So I have this.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
So this was done at a conference called, what was it, Darwin Circle in Vienna a few years ago.
And
that's right. I had to stand with a whole set of cameras, and it rotated me around to get the data, and then 3D printed it. So I can't see any reason why they couldn't turn that into 3D printing.
Totally. Yeah, I can see that happening. So that trend's going nuts.
Coming soon from the AI Inside store. You can get our action
figures of us, or maybe we just send it out to our executive producers on Patreon to get a few more of them. You can put it on the dash of your car. I don't know what you do with those things. Put it on your bookshelf behind you, Jeff. I'll put it next to the antlers.
Put pins in it if you want to. We don't care.
Yes, totally. Another kind of viral prompt that I saw going around a few weeks ago that I tried on a whim that I thought was pretty funny is picture me through the decades. And I fed
it. For those of you not watching the video, it's pretty funny. It's as if Jason is in a sitcom.
It really does. Yeah. Yes, like this is Mad Men era.
Right.
That 70s show. I'm the dad. And I don't know.
But the great thing about it is Jason doesn't change. He doesn't age.
No, it's just if I was this age in these decades, what would I look like? I've got a nice, flashy mullet with a a boombox in my ear. Yeah, the 2000s one with the little faux hawk.
Yeah.
Wow, that one is hard for me to look at. I'm like, oh, I'm happy that was never me right there. Anyways, you can see
the 1990s is kind of a Michael J. Fox look.
Oh, totally, Michael J. Fox. You're right. Yeah. That's exactly what that is. Anyways, people listening are like, we don't care. I'm sure, but
you can find it on the site soon.
Yeah, all this to say, like, it's fun to play around with these things, and I think where we're getting with this, and probably part of the reason why something like Nano Banana is going nuts is A, it's the quality, the consistency, like I said, and B, it's kind of the ease of use because. Sometimes you got to be really specific and exact with prompting in order to actually get the thing that you want. And there's a certain way of approaching prompting that makes sense and is very just talk to it the way you talk to a person. And then you start to see, oh, I didn't describe that aspect of it well enough. Right. And I feel like my interaction with Nano Banana has been that it gets it pretty right. I mean, it's not right 100% of the time, but I can talk to it in a little bit or chat with it or whatever you want to call it in a little bit more of, or a little bit less of like a structured, intentional way. And it gets me close to what I'm looking for. And for the general user, that's probably a really important thing.
Yeah, the other thing I like about this, and I don't know how people are using it, but I like that it's the trope, the meme about it is that it's fun.
Yeah, totally.
That this isn't, oh my God, you're going to create a fake video of this or that. And I'm sure that will come out. I'm sure that'll be an issue. But that if people use it for amusement and and culture for their creativity, I think that's okay.
Yep. Yep. I like that too. It's, I remember back in the day when technology was fun and it wasn't all doom and gloom.
Right.
And sometimes I think we get locked a lot lately into the technology is bad because the people that run it are bad, or whatever the bad thing is you want to paint on it, which I'm not saying they're true or false. I'm just saying, like, it's nice to have an example of something that is fun in the world.
Yeah, and it's really hard to tell the chicken egg here on public opinion and media opinion.
Yeah,
which leads. There's a Pew study just out about public opinion about AI, and it shows a lot of concern, but that reflects the concern that you hear in media. And I'm not a believer that media is all powerful. That's a whole fight in communication theory. But it obviously has an impact on people and on their opinions. And when you hear it constantly coming after you, I think that, and plus, the doomers don't do themselves any favors here. So I think they set up this as if this is going to replace everybody's job, when maybe it's just going to make funny pictures of yourself. And it's still amazing either way.
Yeah.
One is threatening and one is not.
Right. One is threatening and uncertain, and the other is just like, and it gave me a mullet. There you go. I realize I have
sue, Jason. Sue.
I would never have a mullet. This is unacceptable.
Okay, audience, I want to vote. How many of you think Jason would have had a mullet in that age?
Oh boy, no, I never did. I'm trying to think. I definitely grew out my hair, but it was all of my hair. It was definitely not a mullet. Okay. And honestly, like I'm saying that as if a mullet like hasn't actually in many ways come back in style, because it has. It's a reality that I never envisioned, but yet here we are. I don't know.
I think in the 2020s it would have given him a man bun, but it stopped.
Possible. Yeah, totally. Why did it stop at 2000s? Like, what does the 2010s look like? Maybe it is the man bun. Could be.